Hey guys, what's up? I decided that tonight I'm just gonna read this whole entire book in one sitting. Because I can. Like, who's gonna stop me? No one. It's 8:40 p.m. I don't know how fast or slow I read, because I feel like I just kind of typically read like small chunks at a time when I have time. But the new Ana Huang book came out this week. King of Gluttony, book 6 in King of Sin series. And I feel like I usually do read her books pretty quickly, and I'm excited. I've been waiting. This one's been pre-ordered since whenever you could pre-order it. So we excited for this one. So I said, what better thing to do with my Friday night than to sit and read this whole book? I just finished reading Starside earlier this week. Such a good book. And like, what did we just get? Book 2 just got released for like November. So a good week to be a reader. This one, yeah, the guy, Sebastian, he does like food. He's the restaurant guy and stuff. So I'm excited to read it. In like one of the books, we're just like filling it with spoilers. So I forget what other King of Sin book it was, but they were eating at, Sebastian was like slightly mentioned in it as a side character. They were like at his restaurant and then someone like sabotaged it and set it on fire, I think. Was there a fire there? Was there? No. The fire was somewhere else. Sorry. I think someone had like a heart attack. Or like, just like fell over on the ground during one of his food services. So we're gonna find out more about him. As apparently rivals to lovers. She's his greatest rival and his greatest weakness. Whoa! Oh, Barnes & Noble exclusive content. What are we... Oh, just kidding. Sorry. This is the picture I opened it to, and I completely 100% thought his hand was around her throat. It's not. Could it? Will it be at some point during the book? I don't know. We're gonna find out. Truly what I thought he was doing in this picture. Sure, that's them. Thanks for letting me know. But honestly, like, they give me any characteristics of someone in a book, and I don't remember. Like, I don't see them in my head. Like, I'm just reading... I'm not seeing anything, so like I am not gonna remember that either of them have like brown hair, and that's just not gonna matter to me what they look like. I'm just there for the vibes and just knowing collectively that they're just supposed to be hot, and that's all I need to know. I don't really care what the people look like. I'm just here. Oh, good. Content announced. The story contains explicit sexual content, profanity, and topics that may be sensitive to some readers. Cool. Nice. So I guess I'm just gonna start reading, and I don't know, like, every, like, hour check-in? How long does it take to read? This is, like, 400 pages. I don't know how long that takes to read. Probably gonna have brief breaks. We'll see. Why not just sit down and read the whole book once? People say they read books in a day. I think I could read a book in a day. I definitely have had to force myself to read books in one day. I can just choose to read a fun little book. And I guess we're gonna get started. Chapter 1, Maya's point of view. Okay, it's a couple minutes past 10, and I'm worried that I'm only on page 30. Okay. Got interrupted. Had a phone call. And we're at page 30. How many hours would that be? Hold on. Let's see if I gotta read faster than that, right? 415 divided by 30. That'd be almost 14 hours. It should not take me 14 hours to read a book, should it? No, I can't be reading that slowly. We just got distractions coming on. I'm gonna try to pick up the pace for the next hour, or else we're gonna be here till like noon. Can't be here till noon. I've seen people do videos of like reading all day and they finished multiple books, so I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, we're getting into it now. The main characters, their families like work on it similarly together, and they're gonna be having a collaboration, and then both the main characters are like head of marketing people for their parents' companies, and now they're gonna have to work together. And they've known each other since they were like children, and they've been rivals, kind of don't like each other, rival-like vibes, and they don't want to have to work with each other, but they're gonna work with each other, and they're gonna like each other, and they're gonna like each other a bit more than just liking. So, we're gonna get there. It's 11:15, and I only made it to page 60. I just keep getting distracted. And then I'll like reread a page like 3 times. I don't think I'm reading the whole book tonight because that would be insane and it wouldn't even be tonight anymore by the time I finished it if I only read 30 pages an hour. We should get to at least page 100. Will I do that in like the next hour? Will I? Will I? Can I do half the book? I just wanted to sit down and read a lot. But anyways, they're starting to work on their project together. They're out at a bar, some like prestigious bar that one of the other people owns. They had their own book. And they were like rivals from like boarding school growing up. And they did some drinking game. And anyways, they just took 5 shots of 5 different alcohols just back to back to see who could do it the quickest. I'd die. I simply could not do that. But apparently they're completely fine. And the girl literally said she had like 5 more drinks earlier in the day. Okay, that's something. Let's see what happens next. Mozzarella sticks. This is how we're waiting for them to be done because I'm only on page 75 and it's midnight, so I slowed down. I somehow barely read. Wow. Made it to page 100. It might be 1:30 in the morning. And I don't know how this has happened, but I've gotten slower at reading. So we're not finishing this book tonight because I've been reading for like 4.5 hours and I'm a fourth of the way done. Okay, I literally read a fourth of a book. Like, that's a pretty good amount for a night. And I'm convinced that I'm not reading slower, time is moving faster. It's the only explanation of why I only read to page 100. I don't know if that's fast or slow. I never really pay attention to how much I get read and like how much time it takes me. I don't know. But we'll keep reading, I guess. They fell asleep while doing their project, like on the office floor area. They sat on a yoga mat or something. They were sitting on the floor working. I guess the grandma comes in the morning and finds them. So that was kind of funny. But they're still on hating each other, even though the project's going well. Definitely fell asleep. So it's 5 in the morning. I fell asleep with the lights on. I made it to page 107. I was like, okay, I've been reading for a bit. Let me just, like, rest. I'm gonna fully go to sleep because I don't know what I've been saying. Good night for me. Good night. Okay, it's the next morning, and by the next morning, I mean 2:30 p.m. I've been up. Waking for, like, an hour and a half. Casual. After, I don't know what outro I did because I was like half asleep, so I doubt words were coming out of my mouth. But yeah, fell asleep while reading. And then when I woke back up to turn off my lights and to brush my teeth and to do whatever that video was, then I was like, wait, I kind of woke myself up. Let me read a little more. So I made it to page 120. I don't know where I just stopped reading in the middle of a page. Apparently, I cannot read a book in one sitting. Or not like a big book. Obviously, if the book was like super short, then maybe. But I'm gonna keep reading. Now they're working together on their product launch. So the girl's family has a frozen food company, and the guy is like a super fancy restaurant group chef thing. So they're trying to use some fancy foods but make it in like a frozen food product, and that's the collab between the families. I said they fell asleep together doing work on like a yoga mat, and I kept hearing it being advertised as like a no bed trope. You know, we got the one bed, you show up at the hotel or the inn and they're like, there's just one room with one king bed. Oops, you guys gotta sleep together. I thought that the no bed thing was where they fell asleep doing their work. But now, at another time, their car got stuck in the mud when they were driving to look at some venue for like opening pop-up thing to have the food at, and they had to like sleep in the car. Is that the no bed thing, or is it where they fell asleep working? Because they didn't have a bed in either situation and they slept. So I'm not sure which one that no bed trope is referring to. I was like, they didn't do anything with each other either of the times. They're still on disliking each other for the most part, but they survived this long car ride apparently. We're gonna find out where the book goes, but you know, this was a good sit down, have myself read a whole bunch in one night. Good to do every once in a while, and especially good when it's a real good book. I also tried to I was like, wait, I didn't really like pose for a thumbnail. Let me pose for a thumbnail at 5 in the morning while I'm half asleep. I don't know what that was. What was I thinking? My eyes were barely functionally open. Anyways, hope you guys have a good day. Go read a new book. And I'll talk to you guys next week. Bye.